Hey everybody, it's me, Alex Garcia, aka the COG, coming at you as always from comicbookclique.com to bring you the best day of the week. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Brand new comic book day. And we got ourselves a heck of a week I was not expecting. Not everything was great, but we have had, as always, some standouts. So let's talk about them. We're gonna start in DC, right? Everybody's loving DC KO right now. And I was really happy to see this book get announced. We got Green Lantern Galactic Slam by Jeremy Adams and a couple different artists on this one. Cian Tormey and Pat Boone, work I'm not really familiar with, but the issue was a lot of fun. Mainly because we finally get the return of my boy Kyle Rayner. It was recently announced that Kyle's gonna be taking over the Green Lantern book. DC at the last minute realized, ooh, we can figure out a way to tie him into this DC KO, get this great little one shot, get you more hype for it, and just build more hype for DC KO. This is a great little side quest of an issue. We see that, all the DC heroes who are not involved in the tournament, what they're doing on the outside, including Kyle Rayner. During this massive fight, Kyle gets sucked through a boom tube where he ends up in this wrestling federation type multiversal world federation. If you're a wrestling fan, like most of us here over at the Combo Clique, because we're tied over to Dirt Sheet Radio, this was a lot of fun. This issue, not gonna change the world, but it's a great introduction into what's going to be done with Kyle once he takes over the Green Lantern book. We have Kyle becoming a wrestler, teaming up with the Omega Bam Man. Very reminiscent to like a Hulk Hogan / Macho Man Randy Savage. So much fun that happens in this issue. It's so much dynamicism. The artwork pops, makes you want to just watch some WWE or AEW right after. It was a lot of fun. Sets us up for what's to come in the pages of Green Lantern. I'm just always happy to see Kyle. Kyle is my Green Lantern. I've never been a big fan of Hal Jordan. Guy Gardner's okay. John Stewart's cool stuff, but Kyle, whew, so happy to see Kyle back. This really gets me geared up to potentially be collecting Green Lantern again because we're gonna have Kyle on it. So if you want to know where Kyle's been and what's he gonna do and how exactly his new status quo is gonna tie in, because his new tag team partner is gonna be showing up in the Green Lantern book apparently. So if you want to know exactly what happens, don't miss this issue. Lots of fun. Staying in DC, we got Superman Unlimited by Dan Slott and guest artist Mike Norton. First, about 6 issues of the Superman Unlimited book really drew me in. I kept telling you guys, this is the book you want to get if you've been out of Superman for a while, you want to get pulled back in. But then the last couple issues, we've kind of gone on these different tangents. And now, look, I can't draw a stick figure, so I'm always hesitant with how I talk about artists. But the art on this book just took a big decline this issue. Was not a fan of it, and kind of like, all right, where's this book going now? We had a bunch of interesting stories, a bunch of larger than life antics going on. And this issue, it kind of feels like a side issue of The Flash almost is what's going on. If this is where it's going to keep going, I'm not sure how much longer I'll stay on this book. Hopefully we get a better artist on the book soon, as well as hopefully something big happening. In this, we get what looks like a new prankster, which is kind of like another trickster showing up. He wants to he's trying to get rid of Perry White. Superman's involved. Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, let's jump over to Marvel. Got Ultimate Black Panther number 24, the final issue of the Ultimate Black Panther, and this was a great finale. Brian Hill and Stefano Caselli on the art. Guys, if you know what's been going on, the god in the vibranium is out. It's basically said, look, we're gonna get out one way or another. T'Challa totally flips it on its ear and saves the day. But as dynamic, as amazing and wonderful it was when he saves the day, he also has to make a self-sacrifice. And that is just the epitome of this Ultimate Universe, right? Where the heroes can win, but at the same time they have to lose. Great finale, great series, 24 issues, solidly done by Brian Hill. Him and with Stefano Caselli and the other artists who've been on this book. 24 amazing issues. This really just, the ending was so great and at the same time so heart-wrenching. If you've been loving this series as much as I have, I can't wait to see how this is going to lead into the Ultimate Endgame, see what their part is going to be, because it's very interesting. Don't miss this, guys, if you've been reading Ultimate Black Panther, and definitely don't miss it if you want to know exactly what Wakanda's role is going to be in Ultimate Endgame. Great stuff. Let's jump over to regular old 616. We got X-Men Age of Revelation Epilogue. It continues with issue number 24. Jed MacKay and Tony Daniel back on the art. After that not so great last issue where we see what exactly happens with Doug, this issue was way better. We get to see what exactly is going on with 3K. We get to see exactly what's going on with the chairman. See how they're dealing with all the ramifications of the end of the Age of Revelation. And now this makes me see like, ooh, this is where the Age of Revelation matters. And this is where they're going to take it. We get the return of an evil beast, because now we know who the chairman is. So that's a lot of fun. If Jed can keep writing him as interesting as he has been doing so far, then X-Men, you're sucking me back in. And this was good stuff. This was just vile, good, evil for being evil's sake, which I'm always a fan of, because I don't need villains that I feel bad for. Villains just need to be villains, and then the heroes need to swoop in and whoop some ass. So that was what was great about this. I can't wait to see how the X-Men have to deal with this. It was announced at the end of this that, you know, the Cyclops consciousness is coming back. So let's see what happens on the good guy side in the following issue. Jed, you're saving the day here. You're saving the day. Pretty good stuff. Let's check out Amazing Spider-Man number 20 by Joe Kelly and John Romita Jr. back on the art. We're back on the Earth-based side of the story, where, if you remember, the Spider Slayers, or should I say the Hobgoblin Slayers, are unleashed, and they're finally coming for Norman. It seems that they're being sent out by Roger Kingsley, and Roger Kingsley knows that Norman has been impersonating Spider-Man while Peter's in space. This was a pretty cool issue. John Romita Jr. on the interiors doing pretty well. Although, as much better of an issue as it's been, I need to see Pete. I need to see Pete back. So let's wrap this up. Let's get Pete back from space. Let's tie all this together and see where it goes. But all in all, this was not a bad issue, and I just need to see it wrapped up though. So pretty cool, and also I love this variant cover. Not bad. Good stuff. And let's jump over to Image, where we got the Unnamed Universe. Redcoat number 16. Jeff Johns and Brian Hitch continue to tell a great story here in Redcoat. You know, we're seeing Redcoat, you know, our boy Simon Pure calming down with a family. He has a son, and he's just trying to live a regular life. But in the last issue, we saw Benedict Arnold's back. How he's back is revealed here, and what I like is it's not just the return of a villain. This guy, he's got a different motive now. And it's interesting. We're going to see where it's going to go and why exactly he wants to go down this new path. Simon, be careful. Be careful. It's Benedict Arnold. We all know what he's known for, so be careful. And I can't wait to see where all of this is going to lead us down that unnamed timeline, because all of this is going to tie into everyone teaming up with, you know, the Northerner and Geiger and Junkyard Joe. So cool stuff. Unnamed Universe continues to just be a delightful place to play in. Jeff and company, good stuff. And last but not least, just jump over Mad Cave, where we got Speed Racer Tales from the Road, Wrenching the Plans, right? This was made by a plethora of writers and artists, fleshing out this new world of Speed Racer. Unfortunately, David Pepose wasn't on this, or along with David Tinto. Neither appear on this. So this issue, I'm just going to say, is it's fun to see this world get fleshed out with all these side stories and backstories on certain characters and other characters who are probably going to make their introductions in the main story. But is it essential? No. So unless you're just a Speed Racer fan and really enjoying the main series, you don't need to pick this up. But if you really want to see this world get fleshed out, then check this out. It wasn't bad, but just doesn't feel necessary at all. And something you want to pick up, because It's going to cost you absolutely nothing, and it's going to introduce you back into the world of Vertigo. We have this DC Vertigo taste test, so to speak, of all these new Vertigo books to come. We got a Nice House by the Sea, which is issue number 7. That's been coming out for a while. And guys, the book I'm most excited for, because our boy Dennis Camp is writing it. Probably I would say the writer of the year back in 2025. Bleeding Hearts #1, End of Life #1, The Peril of the Life, Brutal Dark, and Ezra Kane Mystery. All these creators on these books are top-notch creators. We got Chris Condon on the book, James Tynion IV, like I said, Dennis Camp. A bunch of great artists. Pick this up if your comic shop hopefully has them. They're absolutely free. You get a taste of a few pages from each of the books that I listed. So check this out. It's going to cost you nothing, and I guarantee you're going to end up wanting to pick up at least one of these books. I'm definitely here for Bleeding Hearts, and I'll probably even pick up a couple other than #1s. So it's going to cost you nothing. Give it some time while you're sitting on the couch one day to see which of these new Vertigo books you're gonna want to collect. Vertigo back in the day was a game changer. It was just notoriously known for introducing us to great books like Sandman, Preacher, and a slew of other books. So I guarantee you, with names like the names that they're bringing on now, Vertigo is going to be that hit again, and just once again showing that DC is just like, oh, we won Publisher of the Year 2025. We want to keep it in 2026. Marvel, where you at? You better start doing something, please. And that's what we got here, guys, for the week. This week in January was a pretty good week. Not the biggest week. Let me know what I missed. Let me know what I should have picked up. Tell me that some of these books were better than I said they are, or that I'm absolutely right. Let's talk about it, right? Like, share, subscribe, comment. Give us all the love you possibly can, guys. We're having a blast over here at Comic Book Clique, and we want to just keep the conversation going. Make sure you're following us on our YouTube, on our X, Facebook, Instagram. We are all over the place, bringing you the latest and greatest stuff to come to comics. We're discussing everything as we speak. I believe our boy the Don and company are talking about Absolute Batman over on the Major Issues podcast. So guys, we want to keep this conversation going. Keep it going with us. Make sure you hit up our Patreon. Throw us a couple dollars to help keep the lights on and keep these books coming in. Make sure you're checking out the website, comicbookclique.com, where you can see our long form reviews on all these books and more. Guys, it's always a pleasure. Always enjoy having these conversations with you and bringing this to you. And as always, please remember, keep print alive and read more comics. Until next time.